So you just learned about wholesaling real estate, you want to get started, and you want to get your deal in as little as 2 weeks. This is the perfect video for you guys. In today's video, my name is Zach Ginn. I'm going to show you exactly how to get your first wholesaling real estate deal in under 2 weeks this year, getting started with no money, no experience, and absolutely no skills at all in this exact tutorial. I'm going to show you exactly the entire wholesaling real estate step by step, a quick overview, and exactly how you can actually start today wholesaling houses and get your first deal. Now you might be asking yourself, who is this kid? Why is he telling me how to get started in wholesaling real estate, and why should I listen to him? Well, my name is Zach Ginn. I've been wholesaling real estate for over 6 years, and I've done over 1,000 real estate wholesaling deals. And for the past 4 years, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people get started in wholesaling real estate. And I have the #1 course by active students in the entire country in wholesaling real estate, and I get people results. Now, I don't charge any money. I'm not like these wholesaling gurus out here. I just share how to get started in this business. So if you want to learn wholesaling real estate for free and get your first deal, let's get into the video. Whoa. Before we break it down, before I give you a quick $5,000, $6,000 entry course into wholesaling real estate, which is crazy, but these are what these gurus actually charge. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. So before I show you how to get your first wholesaling deal, maybe you don't even know what wholesaling real estate is, or your crazy uncle just showed you this video. So the first question you might have is, what is wholesaling real estate? Wholesaling real estate is basically the process of finding somebody who has an ugly looking property and offering to buy their property for the lowest price possible. When I offer to buy somebody's house for the lowest price possible, I get the property under contract, and then I sell that contract, that piece of paper, for a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 finder's fee, or what we call an assignment of contract. Now, if it got you a little lost here, let me explain it really quickly one more time. I find somebody who has an ugly house, I write up a piece of paper to buy that house, and then I sell that piece of paper for a huge finder's fee. That is what wholesaling real estate is. You're not being a broker, you're not walking clients through like you're a realtor. You're just finding people that have distressed real estate and they just want to sell it. Now, the biggest problem I had starting out in this business is like, why would somebody want to sell their property for a discount? That makes absolutely no sense. If I have a house and I know it's worth $100,000, why in the stinking world would I want to sell it for $80,000, $70,000, even $60,000? So the truth is, you're thinking like yourself. You got to think of somebody who actually just wants to get rid of an ugly property. These are people that maybe inherited a house. They're a person that's renting the house out and they're sick of their annoying tenants, or they're just so fed up in real estate and dealing with a property that they just want to get rid of it for cash. Think of it like a pawn shop or a used car dealership. When you're trading in your car at a used car dealership, you know you could probably sell the car for an extra $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000. If you take a picture of your VIN, you go meet somebody behind a Starbucks at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday, and you haggle, negotiate, and then sell it with the DMV and go through all that hassle. You know you can make more money. But for the quick, easy cash trade-in value, you just sell it, no gimmicks, no problem at all. Same thing in wholesaling real estate. For the speed and convenience of selling your piece of real estate for cash, you get rid of some of your equity, and that equity is given to us wholesalers. That is how we make money in this game. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you, but let me show you exactly a 30-day action plan guide on the entire wholesaling real estate process, just so I can show you a quick overview. So on average, it takes about 30 days to get a real estate wholesaling deal. You can do it in less than 14 days. But let me show you what the average 30-day time span looks like for a wholesaler from start to finish. Days 1 through 7 is what we call marketing, where we go and find the ugly looking property. We call, text, reach out to these people. Days 7 through 14, we actually talk to the people that want to sell our property. We meet with them and we sign that agreement to buy their piece of real estate. Days 14 through 18, we find somebody who's going to buy that piece of paper from us. Usually it's a rich landlord or house flipper. Days 18 and 24, they go look at the property, and if they like what they see, we sign a piece of paper selling our original purchase and sale contract for a big profit. And then days 30 is our closing day with the title company. We sell it, we get our nice, beautiful check, and it's nice, easy, ready to go. And that's basically the wholesaling real estate process. This is what I've dedicated the last 6 years of my life to, and it's made me millions of dollars. You might not have all this time to break down this entire process. How do I learn if wholesaling is legal in my state? How do I know how to do the contract? What do I do if somebody says this wrong thing? This might be a little overwhelming starting out, so let me calm you down. I have a free wholesaling course. It has over 100,000 students in it. Literally over 100,000 people have been through it, and it gets results. It is a $7,000 course I give absolutely for free. Just go to my website, freewholesaling.com, and it'll break down that entire process for you. Literally every single question you possibly have on wholesaling real estate, that course has it all. I could probably sell it for thousands and thousands of dollars, but I give it to you absolutely for free. So after this video, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com, write it now. I'm giving you a second, write it down right now and go to the course after this video. So the next question you might be having naturally is, am I in the right real estate wholesaling market? If the population in your city is over 50,000, probably in a good area for wholesaling. Now, if the average house median home price is below 400,000 and you combine them two together, that's a great real estate wholesaling market. So mix them together. Make sure your market has a population of over 50,000 people, and make sure the median home price is below 400,000. How do I find population? How do I find median home sales price or median home price? Just go to Google and search the city population. You should find it from there. Now, how do you find the median home price? Just go to Zillow space median home price and let's say Houston, Texas, and it'll pop it up right there. Now that you know if your market's good or not, now if you're in a bad market, I would choose a virtual wholesaling market. Now, if you want to find these people that want to get rid of their property for cash, we're going to have to pull a list of them who have some motivation on the property or some issues. And that is how we're going to find these motivated sellers. A motivated seller is somebody that just wants to get rid of their property for cash. They're motivated to sell the property for a discount. We have to pull a list of people that have some motivating factor. So if I go to the average population that owns real estate, most of them don't want to sell it for cash or for a discount. But if I get them off one of these lists, I'm definitely going to find them. These lists are number one, what I call the government list. These are lists you can pull from the government absolutely for free. These are code violations, which are ugly houses with tall grass, structural damage, mold or mildew, probates, people that passed away, tax delinquencies, people that are behind on their property taxes, the water shutoff list. Guys, if the water's not running on the property, they're definitely a motivated seller. And there's just so many more of these government type lists. Again, I show you how to do it for free at freewholesaling.com. My favorite part about government lists is they're absolutely free to pull. Number two are paid lists. These are lists you can pay with software that shows some motivation. For an example, like the vacant property list. This will just give you a list of people that have vacant properties where there's nobody living in the house, but there is an owner who lives outside the property. I love these pieces of real estate. You can go to a website like listrei.com or zacginn.com to actually pull this list. You can find a free trial on both those websites. Next here are just the Zillow for sale by owners. If you go to Zillow, there are people listing the property for sale by owner. They don't want to deal with a realtor. And if you give a nice lowball offer to them and you do enough of them, you're definitely going to find a really good wholesaling deal. Number four, and honestly, one of my personal favorites for wholesaling real estate is driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars. Driving for dollars is basically the art of getting in a car and looking for those ugly houses. When you look for those ugly houses, most likely the person who owns that ugly house wants to get rid of it because you're going to give them a cash offer. Now, here's the problem. Wholesaling real estate isn't a new thing. There's a lot of people making millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in wholesaling real estate in your city every single year. And there's hundreds and hundreds of wholesaling deals done in your city pretty much every single month. So there's quite a few wholesalers probably in your city. And so the number one popular destination to go find these deals is from driving for dollars. It's cheap, effective, and you don't really have to work too hard to get a lot of these deals. Think about it. In a weekend doing 5-6 hours of work, I can find a $30,000 wholesaling deal. Of course, I'm gonna get my car and look for these deals. Now, the key here is what we call reverse driving for dollars. This is the thing that your competition is not doing. This is when you're driving in your car, looking for the ugly houses, and you grab this sticky note right here and you write on the sticky note, "Hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back." You slap that on top of the door. You will get insane responses and you'll talk to so many more sellers than your average competition, which is just gonna double your results in wholesaling real estate. This is the stuff real estate gurus do not want to tell you, and the ones that actually have courses on this that teach you how to do this, they charge over $10,000 to learn this. Me and Rick are pretty much the inventors of this for wholesaling real estate, and that's why it works so well. And so really on the marketing channel side, you don't really need to call anybody when you put the sticky notes out. It's like putting a postcard out. But if you pull a list, let's say a government list, and you're not driving for dollars, let's say you're doing some virtual wholesaling, I highly recommend either cold call or SMS text blast a list, which is basically calling the sellers up or just getting them texts out here, or again, doing the reverse driving for dollars. Stick to the basics. Now, if you want to learn how to do cold calling, SMS, or reverse driving for dollars, just go to my free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. On top of that too, you're gonna learn skip tracing, which I know there's a lot of confusing terms I'm throwing at you right here, but if you find somebody that has an ugly house in your neighborhood and you wanna go call them up, how do I call them up if I don't have their phone number? You can get anyone's phone number pretty much for free at truepeoplesearch.com. That's a big secret a lot of real estate gurus don't want you to know. But if you go to truepeoplesearch.com, you'll get their number. Now, it is better to pay for a list like that of phone numbers. So I'd go to listrei.com or zacginn.com for it, and it'll help you out a lot. Next part here is that acquisition section of actually getting a property under contract. A lot of people really overthink it and they make it way too complicated in their heads. And I promise you, you are overthinking it. When you have somebody on the phone and they say, "Hey, I want to sell my property for cash and get rid of it," this is cue for you to get a really good wholesaling real estate deal. Now, how do you do it? So if you want to go talk to somebody and they say they want to sell their property, just think of MCTP. MCTP stands for motivation, condition, time frame, and price. So when I'm talking to somebody, they want to sell their property, I think of M, motivation. "Hey, Mr. Seller, why are you looking to sell your property?" That's all you got to ask them. C, condition. "Hey, Mr. Seller, can you tell me a little bit about the property? How's the roof, AC? Does it need any repairs?" T, time frame. "Hey, Mr. Seller, when are you looking to sell that piece of real estate?" And P, price. What price are you looking to sell the house for? Then from there, you just get off the phone and say, hey, me and my partner are gonna look over the property. When's a good time for me to call you back? Boom. Keep it really simple. Then from there, you get off the phone, you're gonna figure out how much the house is worth. Again, for Wholesaling.com, we break that down. Really what I like to do is find what other properties that are similar to that one are selling for. So I roughly know how much a cash buyer, person that's gonna buy that contract from us, are gonna pay for the property, and then I get back to the seller. So call that seller up, say, hey, I looked over the property with me and my partner, when's a good time for me to go by and look at the house? Set up the time to go see the house, meet the seller over to that property. The one thing I'll tell you when I'm meeting with somebody, you go buy their real estate, just say, hey, me and my partner are a little busy right now, and we don't wanna waste your time or my time when I go buy the property. Is it okay if you can make a yes or no decision on selling the property right now when I go see it? And usually they're gonna say yes. Now, the reason why I tell you to do that is you just don't want them to say maybe or I don't know about that price and they just gotta commit to a decision now. I can tell you in the long run, having people commit to decisions will make you more money in wholesaling real estate. And that is what we call conditioning the seller. From there, look at the property and give a lowball offer. I like to do what we call the go for no strategy, which we just give an offer where we know the seller's automatically gonna say no, and they're gonna counter back and you can negotiate from there. But by going for the no, you're going to get the best possible deal. You're gonna squeeze all the profit out of that deal, and that's gonna lead to you making more profit. Now, if you wanna learn my exact acquisitions guide, live calls, live script calling, and actual live calls of me closing sellers so you can actually watch me do it right now in the field, again, I've probably said this a lot, but just go to freewholesaling.com. It's all in there. Then from there, you lock up the contract, and now we got to sell that contract to a cash buyer. But before we do that, we need to find a title company. A title company is going to be an intermediary that's going to give title insurance to our buyer. Now, it sounds really confusing. I get it. But pretty much all you need to know is they were the middleman in the transaction. So how we get paid in wholesaling real estate, so if I lock up that contract, let's say for an example before, for $100,000, and I sell it to a cash buyer for $120,000, that will give me a $20,000 assignment fee, finder's fee, and a profit. Hey, that's great. But how do I actually get paid, right? What happens is when I lock up the deal for $100,000, I'm gonna bring it over to the title company. Some states you actually have to use attorneys, so go to freewholesaling.com to see what state you're in, and if you need an attorney or title company, or look it up online. And I'll bring that contract to the title company, and they start running the title to make sure, hey, is this the right owner? Everything's all smooth with the transaction. And then from there, when I find a buyer, they walk through the property, they say, hey, Zach, this is a great deal. I'll buy this for $120,000. We write up the assignment of contract, which is gonna basically sell our contract to that cash buyer for a big finder's fee. And I send that to the title company. And from there, my contract is basically sold. So at closing, when basically everything's done, the transaction's final, the cash buyer is going to wire $120,000 to the title company. $100,000 goes to the seller, like we agreed. $20,000 nice check from the title company is paid to me. They're the intermediary, they are the third party that collects the money from the cash buyer and they give it to the seller and the wholesaler. That's why we love our title company. And there's usually attorneys there, so everything we do is completely legal. And that's the problem a lot of people have. Oh my gosh, wholesaling is illegal. Wholesaling is done by attorneys, lawyers, and legal professionals. Wholesaling is legal in all 50 states. Some states have some regulations on it, but if you go to freewholesaling.com, we break down how to get around that and how to do everything ethically, morally, and legally. And then the last thing's like, how do I find these people looking to buy the contract? I can tell you, real estate is a big business. There are people looking to flip real estate, rent real estate, just buy and hold, and just buy houses just to buy them. There's banks, hedge funds, institutions, landlords, house flippers. There's all type of people looking to buy real estate. Heck, I'm looking to buy more real estate. If it makes money, I want it. You might be shocked, but there's a ton of cash buyers and cash sales in your local city and county right now looking to buy some more deals. So how do you find these people? Honestly, most of your cash buyers are either gonna buy the property to rent it out or to flip it for a nice profit. So let's talk about the landlords. All I do is just cold call the for rents. Heck, if I buy property and rent it out, call the landlords who are listing it for rent. So I'd go to Zillow for that. If you wanna find the people who are flipping houses, you actually use software like listri.com, zacday.com, or my favorite Drawing for Dollars app, dmzac.com, to go out here and find cash buyers. You just click a button, cash buyers are there, and you can start calling them up. These are people that the software can pull that actually bought properties, sold it for a big profit, and are legit house flippers. Use that software and find them and call them up. On top of that, just ask your title companies. Remember, if they're doing wholesaling transactions, they definitely have cash buyers in their system and they want to use their title company. So it's a great way to find cash buyers. And lastly, my personal favorite, just go to your local property auction. Remember, people are bidding on properties to buy them cash. There's definitely cash buyers there. Now I know, I said a lot, I broke this down really fast and it seems very confusing. I recommend you watch this video one more time, not just so I get more views, but so you can understand the process. And if you really want everything to be broken down in a lot longer, slower, simpler process, I do have a 30-day wholesaling challenge where from 30 minutes to an hour a day, I teach one aspect of wholesaling real estate one day, and then on day 2, I do day 2 of the lesson, and then all the way to 30. So by day 30, you actually learn the entire wholesaling real estate process, what I just said, in a long form content, where I'll go for an hour, 2 hours of slideshows, graphic presentations on the entire process so you know everything. And you guessed it, it's all at freewholesaling.com. I actually have free one-on-one coaching calls I do there too, where if you want to talk to me one-on-one right now, heck, if you're watching this video, you want to talk to me and I can teach you a thing or two about wholesaling if you have a question, just go to freewholesaling.com and you'll learn exactly how to get on those. I don't charge a dime for wholesaling. So if you want to get started in wholesaling real estate, go to freewholesaling.com. If you got any value from this video and get your first wholesaling deal, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.